Hello, welcome to iChat Podcast Show. I'm your host, Alien Head. Today's guest.
Angela Rose Walling.
Topic is art and artwork. I guess you'd say your artwork and how all you came about where you're at as far as how long you've been doing the artwork and.
Yeah, I started painting in my late 20s. I've always loved art. Always been an art lover. My mom and one of my sisters both have art degrees. When I was a kid, my mom took us to museums and plays, and she was very cultural and educational, and that. I had some friends who were artists when I was in high school and stuff, and through the years, but I never really thought I could actually be an artist. But so my late 20s, right after I got married, a friend of mine gave me an easel. It was actually their roommates who had left and owed them money. So they're like, here, you want this? And so it's a very nice one. So I got that, bought some art supplies, and started painting. And I did a lot for a while there. I started out with oils, and I would paint pictures for everybody that, more like my friends, like if you like butterflies or something like that.
You were just basically just messing around. Just you had the passion,
yeah, for
but
fun.
yeah.
And we used to do kind of painting parties. We would all be hanging out, having a few beers, and if sometimes somebody's kids or something, they'd come and I'd let them paint, or we'd all kind of just throw a little something on the canvas. So I did that for a while, and then I had kind of like a 10-year gap. I think a lot of it was when my husband Dan was, had cancer, and so after all that surgery, which he's of course cancer free now, but I guess I kind of got distracted after that. So I didn't paint for many years. I would do a rare occasion. One, we went to Ireland in 2006, and I painted like a little Irish castle that I had saw there, and that was pretty much my last painting for many years until like 2 years ago. And yeah, and then they opened this gallery down the street on Hammerley. I had found it through Facebook, and I went and checked it out, and so it kind of got me inspired a little bit. And me and another friend, a mutual friend that I met through some other friends, she's an artist too. Her name is Holly, and so me and her finding someone who enjoys art is kind of rare,
Yeah, I mean, it just
crowds,
Yeah.
But especially at that time, I'm talking, you're in your 30s and stuff, and well, I was actually when I met her, I was in my 40s, but she's an artist too, and she's a teacher, but she would do art and stuff off and on. So me and her became really good friends, and we did a workshop together that kind of triggered my art back into gear. So I started, painting, and I bought me another sets of paint because mine were so old and all dried up. So I moved the boxes away from the easel and stuff, and started painting again. And then a gallery opened up close by here. It's at Piedmont 290. It's called Jomar Visions. I had seen there they had a smaller gallery in a place called Hardy Street, Nance. It's close to downtown. It's a very high art community over there. They had been around for a long time, and so they ended up actually opening their own gallery and studios, and they had a grand opening. And the lady was like, Joanna, who's one of the owners, was like, hey, I know you're an artist. I've met you before and stuff. Come on, put a painting in there. It's only $10 for the grand opening to hang a painting. So I said, oh, okay, what the hell? So I did. Of course, then I realized I had to paint paintings to go in there. So
yeah.
I kind of last minute. And then it was she's like, oh, and what's your website and all this stuff? And I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I actually, I had a website actually of my artwork, but it was kind of like one I did back in the late '90s and
Right,
early
whenever everything
2000s.
was semi-free, it was kind of like still had the.
Yeah, this one actually was a free site, so you had the pop-ups, and it had been updated in years, and it was through like an editor type thing. Now, it's a lot more fancier, but back then, I was actually doing my own HTML code and everything.
Yeah,
So,
those are fun.
so
I started doing that myself in the '90s and writing little scripts, and then it got to like Java and everything else. And I'm like, nah, never mind.
yeah, I am a yeah. So I had to like make business cards and everything. So I did the grand opening, and it went really well. A lot of my friends came out, so and I enjoyed it. And so kind of after that, it kind of put me into the painting mode. So I had did some other pieces and stuff, and then come January, she had another show. It was called Art in the Making, and it's where all the artists did like live painting. Actually, you showed your artwork, in the gallery, but every artist, whether you're painting or sculpture or whatever kind of design that you did, everybody did like a live demonstration. So that was a lot of fun. And I did really well. I sold some prints and stuff, and actually
That's
made my
awesome.
first sale. Yeah, I made my first sale. That was the first time I ever actually made money off any of my artwork. So that went really well. I had a really good turnout, through friends and support. So I really enjoyed that. So it kind of got me kick-started. And so I did that one, and it turned out, like I said, I did pretty well. I made, I didn't sell a painting, but I definitely sold some stuff off of my prints. And then my friend Holly, she wanted to do an art show, and so we decided to do Pancake and Booze, which that is a very wild show. And if it'll come to Houston again. At least they have them at least once or twice a year. It's all over the world now. They have them in all the different main cities in the United States, and they actually branched off to. They have them in London and Germany and Paris. So there's a.
Would you know the dates on that, or whenever they?
If you go to Pancake and Booze site, they'll have it. It's a very kind of basic site, but they'll have when they this one was in February, so they should have another one coming up. I'd say probably like fall or somewhere. Last year I know they had two, so they do at least one. Like the Austin one is May 7th. They just had a Dallas one, I think, a couple weeks ago. So like I said, they're New York, LA. It started in LA. It's a really neat concept because it's underground.
Right.
It's underground type. So it's your stuff's, well, you kind of send them work of what you did so they know, but it's not a really like a juried, not quite as juried as some art shows are, exhibits are. And it's pretty much like anybody that pretty much wants to just put it out there. So, and they have music, they have body painting.
That's
they have
that's pretty
they
cool.
Have, and they have free pancakes, which I never even found because you get so many people. I mean, it was packed. I mean, probably at least 1,000 people. I mean, that's usually what they average.
Where did they hold the convention at when they were here, or do they have it just random?
It's random places. This one they did it at the Warehouse Live. So.
Oh, okay.
And they filled that place up too.
Wow.
So that was a lot of fun. It was my friend Holly's first show, and technically it was my third, but I never did anything like this. So it was a lot of fun to see different people check out your artwork, and it was kind of because they just kind of hang it on these little partitions and wall space, so it's kind of random, and some of it you share with other artists. It's just it's just whatever the closest you can get, how many pieces you can get on there, is how it works.
Oh, okay.
So even and luckily we got a spot right across from the bar, so that was perfect. One at the bars, so we got there pretty early. You got to get there early if you're going to set up, because you just come up like that day, and there's a time, here's between this time I think it was like 12 and 5, to hang your artwork. And we got there pretty early and it was still pretty full, already getting pretty full. So it was kind of neat to see everybody's different artwork because there were some really, really good artists too. But it was nice to have, too, when you're standing there and see people walk up and kind of their expressions and stuff when they look at your artwork. It's a good thing. Um, like all galleries and stuff like that, it's fun. But this one has such a diverse crowd that it was pretty interesting. And they had music going, and I passed out a lot of business cards. That's definitely a good networking place. Didn't sell a painting, but did sell some prints. You kind of gotta push them a little bit there. You kind of have to hustle a little bit
Yeah, that's one
because
thing.
the environment. It's not like your snooty gallery where someone's looking for something for the living room. It's kind of like people are just kind of there to kind of party and check out the artwork. And I mean, some people sold stuff. I mean, I saw people sell stuff. And I talked to a couple artists before I did the show too, that they said, bring lots of prints. Prints are what sell because, someone will spend $10 on a print where they may not want to spend 50, 75, $300 on a
No, no,
piece
painting.
of artwork,
Right.
on a paint. Well, paintings are actually, they're fairly hard to sell. They really are. And it's not even just the financial part of it. It's because it's kind of like a commitment, you have to, what am I going to do with this piece of art, unless I want it for a specific place, my house or place, most people don't really want to buy it. And of course, usually when you think of stuff like that, most, they want big. So
Right. So when you say print, I mean, what is that
it's
like?
like a copy. It's a copy of my painting.
Oh, okay,
I,
okay.
you can, it's like a photograph. There's different ones you can make. I have this little setup where I have like a photograph of my painting, of one of my paintings, and I have like a little border, different colors, and you put in like a little plastic bag where, they can either take it home and frame it, which I've had some people do, or, however, I have stuff from all my art shows that I've been to, the shows that I've actually went to, not participated in, because I've done quite a few. I go to the First Saturday Market in the Heights. Like I said, we've been to Hardy Street and Dance and Spring Street and Art in the Park and the Bayou City. There's Houston has a very, very, very large
Art.
community. They
Yeah.
really do. And I never even realized how big it was. I mean, I know because we got the fancy museum downtown that, I mean, that I spent half my childhood in because that's where my mom would drag us all the time,
That's a
which
good
was
thing.
good.
Yeah.
I never had a problem with it. It's between that and, of course, the Museum of Natural Science. We were always there, too. But like I said, I have stuff that I've bought at shows, and, you pay $5, $10 or $20 for a little picture, and, because you can't, I can't afford to spend $300 or whatever it is on the original. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a way to get your artwork out there for a little,
Little, yeah.
for inexpensive, I guess would be the word, and stuff. And it was, like I said, definitely on a learning experience here. This year has just been, my artwork has just taken off. My art career. I started out in January, and I've had an art show every month so far this year.
But
Consider we're only in April.
Yeah, I was just saying, but the crazy thing about it is that it's just odd. I'm starting this, brand new podcast show out and trying to get new people on here, diverse stuff, different things, and that's pretty neat how your stuff is starting to, really come into play, and I'm out here just to help anybody who wants to help, who needs the help, and would just like to chat about it. That's great, and I like to see, more and more of the art. And just in general,
Yeah.
it sounds exciting. It really does. I like to come
It
to
really,
a few shows myself just to see, the
oh, you
experience.
should. You should. Well, I got it. The closing to my show at Joe Mars is tomorrow. Their spring show. It's at Joe Mars Visions Gallery. I guess I can give you the website, or it's actually the link. They're on. I can send that to you if you want. Or you could just Google Joe Mars. And then I have one in May too. At the end of May, it's called the Chocolate and Art Show. So this was kind of like the pancake and booze, except that they have, instead of pancakes, there's a chocolate fountain with all the little fixings and stuff. So that's included. Plus, it's kind of like the same concept where, it's kind of underground, or just kind of whoever really wants to exhibit, to show their art and sell their art. It's kind of like for stuff for people where normally that wouldn't normally show their art, or some of them are professional ones that do a lot of shows. They'll do these too, but it's kind of like a mix. So
Right, it's almost like the what's that? The arts festival on Westheimer. I've been to that a few
yeah,
times.
I know the Westheimer Art Festival. I know I missed that. I love that. I used to go there every year, twice a year.
Yeah, and
Now it's changed to the Bayou City Art, which is still fun. I mean, I've been that, but that's definitely a little more not as wild. This it's
yeah,
I mean, they have some very talented artists, but it's very expensive and they fill up really quick to get into that. I mean, I do it one day. I do plan on doing some of the bigger shows like that eventually. But like I said, some of them are very pricey to get in. Of course, you have half of Houston showing up, so
right. And your friend Holly, who does this, is she any of these events with you, or is it just you by yourself solo?
Yeah. No, she's done all of them except for the grand opening and the art in the making. She did the pancake and booze, and then in March I lucked out. It's just how my year's been going. One of my friends referred me to a furniture store, Alabama Furniture. They opened a new location, and they wanted to have a little kind of art fair like they do at the first Saturday art market. So he was looking for artists, and my friend's like, hey, here's some of that. And I was like, hey, I'm definitely interested in that, because I've always wanted to do an art booth. But that it's a lot of work. You really have to have your booth together. But this was free. He didn't charge us, because a lot of them will charge to do, and I didn't have to pay, he didn't take any commission. So it was just kind of like it was fun, and there was different type of vendors. There was some artists, and then there was like a one that did like kids clothing. There was one, they actually had like a pet rescue there. They had one that kind of did like a little different kind of arts and crafts stuff, kind of like knickknacks and kind of variety. And all the profits they made went to help women, like the women's shelters and women in need and that kind of stuff. So it was neat. I did really good at that one too. It was my first one, so I'm bringing out all my camping stuff, so I definitely need to invest more
Right.
into that to do another one, which I plan on. I just, that one I have to find, I'm definitely going to have to invest more. But my friend Holly did that one, and she actually had the setup really nice. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're like I'd like to do like free promotions, free stuff for everybody, for you, your friend Holly, if she would ever be interested in coming on here.
So.
All three of us.
I have friends. I have one of my good friends just started her. She's been doing really good in her writing. She's been a writer for many, many years. She wrote a book when I was in high school. I don't think I published, but she actually has done some personal and some with her work. She works for the mental health. So she's actually had an article published through the. So that's definitely another one. My friend Samantha, and she actually written a play. So, and I know some actors because I started going to a lot of the community theater. There's actually community theater close to us called Theater Suburbia that we'd love to go to all the time. It's a great little theater, and I've made a lot of friends there too. So it's a lot of fun. It's like just all the arts are coming together. So it's nice.
That's awesome, though. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I love it. And one of my friends, an actor, he's been acting for a long time, but they did there's a short film festival they have every year. It's called 48 Hours, and basically they have like 48 hours to produce this film.
Okay.
And they have to that's right in the script, the actors, everything, film it, edit it, everything. So it's really fun, and you get to watch all the different ones, and you vote on and stuff. But one of my good friends, it wasn't 2015, it was 2014. I actually got picked up. The guy who produced it, whatever, and it's actually in Hollywood right now. It's actually at one of the film festivals. So
Wow, wow,
I know
that's
that was pretty neat. And I was
wow, that's
at the
that's
beginning, you know.
that's
Yeah.
that's
So
that's exciting. I mean, just think about it. Somebody who's just a random,
yeah, I mean, it's like it seems like everybody's getting their break on it. You know, it just feels like this is like the year for art. You know, it just
yes, yeah. I mean, and I just that's why I'm kind of like new to the art thing myself, as far as like talking, and that's why I was like interested in and like getting links and dates and stuff
yeah,
as far as
definitely. Well, I
for
have my website and I have a actually event calendar that I'm been pretty good about keeping it up. So I try to keep on my events. I've been trying to do an event at least one every month. So I'm doing that one. And actually there's another one in May. Actually, there's a couple in May I'd like to do. There's another one. It's called, I just found it the other day. It's called Arts for Vets. And
huh,
it's Memorial Day weekend. It's just that Saturday. And it sounded really interesting. So, but I won't be able to make it because I'll have the chocolate art the night before, and that ends at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And this I would have to set up at like 10 o'clock in the morning, so it's probably not gonna happen.
see
I
that's
do it, but I know myself, so.
yeah, that's it. But
But I'm actually thinking about I have donating a painting. I have one, the Texas flag that I did at this my last show that the beginning of the spring show of this one that I'm doing right now. That did a live painting there. Not everybody did one, but I went ahead and kind of somewhat volunteered
there you
to do
go.
it.
There you go.
Well, myself by accident, but it's all good. I enjoyed it, and it was it's fun, and I don't mind. And a lot
And
of people were like, "Oh, don't you get nervous when you're kind of painting for everybody?" I'm like, "You think, but not really. I
it's
really don't."
it's just like I told you at the beginning of this. It's the intro that kind of gets me, but once it's rolling, it's rolling. I mean, it's going.
Yeah.
But
Well, I do abstract too, so it's like if worse comes to worse, if it's as long as I'm not trying to do something really detailed and it has to look exactly like it is, because that's not a strong point of mine. My strong point's color and just kind of creativity, just kind of being different. Because I'm not good at drawing, and I'm not real good at like very detailed. I can just kind of just do whatever. And those are usually the ones that I do, whatever, are usually the ones that everybody likes the most. I try to make it look like something, and they're like, no, quit that. Just, just
yeah,
do
and
it.
that's another thing when you try too hard on something from experience. It don't always come out the way it's supposed to. If you just let it flow and let it go and let it roll, just kind of go,
Definitely,
you
yeah.
know. And same thing with music. I'm a musician too. It's like I remember back in the day, I
Yes.
tried so hard, literally, to try to write a song that was decent enough for people to, listen to. But then I kind of like, gave that up years ago. Well, not really gave it up. I still play every now and then, but it was just here the last say 15 years. I actually was playing decent guitar. I remember
Yeah.
going to these parties and stuff, but yeah, I mean, he would have it pretty loud, but it. But with the music and all that, I mean, I still every now and then pick up the guitar and play, but it just seems like the older I got, the more I was like, I want to learn a melody. I just don't want to just grunge it, I mean, it's
Yeah. You want something that actually you can hear the words.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
most people like that. That's usually what most people want music. Not all, but
it depends on what genre, what year, era. Of course,
yeah,
there are some
if you're
people.
in the age group.
Yeah, God rest my brother's soul. He
Oh, I know. I remember when he did his little music, his little band.
and yeah, and the thing about it
They were
was,
gonna have me model for the cover. That was back when I was. It never happened. That's
I
probably a good
said,
thing.
good Lord, that must have been 80s, 90s.
It would have been like late '80s.
Yeah, because I do remember the crazy
It was
stuff that they
before.
were.
It was before I met my husband Dan.
Because it was, I vaguely remember some of the crazy things that they just off the wall stuff they did. I mean,
Yeah, they actually played a couple venues though. I mean, we saw them at was it Headbangers Ballroom? or one of those. I think it was. It was one of the kind of like thrash
Oh,
clubs or hard rock clubs back in the late '80s,
right,
which I
yeah.
was barely old enough to get into.
I just turned 40.
You are a youngster.
It's fun hobby right now, but I would like to see this thing go further
Yeah,
in
I
the
think it's
future.
cool. It's definitely the day and age for it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, because back in the '90s, this was not even. Of course, everything's dial up back then. I mean, of course, everything now is
Yeah. Well,
fast,
now
fast, fast.
everybody has. Yeah. I mean, this is very popular. People do I mean, they listen to stuff. Have coworkers and stuff,
You
and people
know,
that do.
and once I get this up and going, and as far as more and more, because I'm gonna have you on more besides this one shot. I mean, one
Yeah, and
time,
I'll try to get some of my friends on too. I'm sure they'll be interested.
and I
Do
can
different.
send y'all the links to all the places that I'm going to be uploading all these things, these
Yeah.
podcasting. Because right now I've got everything's free, so I got one that's limited, and the other ones are not so limited. It's just you got to have a large volume of something of your podcast, or for them to even say, okay, you want to become an affiliate with us, but you got to have X amount
You got
of
to have something to put on there. They don't want amateurs. They want people that are committed.
yeah, exactly. Somebody says, okay, once a week, okay, for an hour. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm doing it once a week, and to see how it runs. This is my second week full, actual good podcast, and I'm actually haven't dropped any calls. Last week was hilarious. If you go on to Facebook and click on it, I think I sent you the IHA podcast
Yeah.
still, and with me and Fisherman Joe on there. Well, we were having technical difficulties, and I don't know. It seemed like the last two that I did. Actually, this is my third. I'm sorry. The first one I did, where we lost video. Was going to do a video and audio. Well, we lost the video, so I said we might as well just go ahead and do a podcast and just describe to people what y'all are doing, and in the game as far as that. And well, needless to say, about 35 minutes into the segment, my son picks up the cat and she jumps out and hits the foot switch. She cuts all power off to my computer and monitor and everything that I was working on. Oh, girl, I mean, I was mad. I mean, I was mad at the fact that, not at him, but it's just all that time I was sitting there, getting stuff
You're
going.
working on it.
But needless to say, the program I was working with saved it. As soon as I booted everything back up, it says, "Would you like to save this at this time?" You bet I do. So I would have.
That's good.
Oh, I mean, thank God for Audacity. I mean that program has been a lifesaver in this in recording. So, but and then I went ahead and continued on, and they pretty much left me there. So I am like randomly talking just a little here and there with my daughter, and then she gets up and leaves. So I can talk to myself, but it's just not really good to. So
Not really that interesting. You gotta have someone to at least talk to, at least one person.
Exactly, because I know the last one I just did, with Fisherman Joe, it's like we've got different stuff coming up as far as with the fishing segment, and then we got another guy coming up with was it crazy Kevin Trucker? I mean, it's a friend of mine. He's a truck driver, and he's wanting to do this.
Or you were gonna do a poet,
Now,
right?
now, poetry. Now, what happened with that? I mean, I'm not even gonna say the name on here. I'm pretty sure because they hear it, but I don't know what happened. I mean, I thought everything was gonna fly right, as far as them coming on talking about it. Well, it just didn't pan out.
Well, I know some poets. True. I'm actually part of a poetry group too.
And hey, if you wanna have them come on,
Yeah, it's called the Poetry Procrastinators. It's a group that it's been around for a while. Actually, a lot of teachers and educational people kind of started it, and it's great. They pick a topic, you pick a theme, and then everybody writes about it. And some people, if they wait till last minute to write it, some of them have written them the same day or like at the at the party.
yeah, see,
And
yeah.
then we do the we do our food theme. You know, like we did one of it was bacon, so that was very good with the talk about the food. There was some other ones that I just started at the end of 2014 is when I joined. So yeah, I drink wine or whatever. Some people, well, not everybody drinks, but you know, I
Yeah.
drink wine. But and we just sit around and read our poetry, and then talk and catch up, and it's kind of like a different group of people. So you know, everybody's different. This last one we did was really cool. We did it at the No Label Brewery in Katy. So it was a very nice spring day. So we just sat outside underneath the trees and read our poetry, and so that was pretty fun.
Wow. See, I mean, too bad. I should have got a laptop. But that's what everybody say. You need to get a laptop. You're going to do that in case you want to like travel or do something. They can call me. You know, but that's the way my first initial
That
thought
would
was.
be cool too. Yeah, we could do
Yeah.
a group session like that while we sitting outside.
Yeah, right. Or you could set your. I don't know how that will pick up. Because right now you're like talking to you on your phone, like you're having like a phone call conversation. But
Yeah.
when you
Yeah, I
set it
don't have
down,
any of the fancy mics. I just barely got a good phone. I've only had this phone for a year. I was doing the ancient stuff there for a long time.
yeah, it's that's me. This I got a HTC. The only reason why I like it's because it's easy to to work with. It's like I went from Windows 7 to this Windows 10, and I don't like it. It literally is Greek. It's like, where's all my stuff? My son's like, oh, here. Here's how you
Yeah,
find it. It's
I
like,
haven't done the Windows 10 yet.
then it's like, okay, well, I mean, Windows 7. Of course, when I bought the computer, refurbished and everything, and kind of had them tweak a little here and there for what I wanted to do, and have them say Windows 7. Okay, well, I did Windows 7, but this thing kept popping up saying, hey, you need to update. Hey, it's like, so finally I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And my son's like, oh, you'll get used to it after a while. It's like, well, once I save something, I have to actually physically see where I'm putting it because in Windows 7, it's no problem. It's like I
Yeah.
can find it, but here it's like kind of hidden. Where's it at? Then you hear me getting mad and smacking stuff around. Can't find a file. What's the name of the file? So it's a fun time around here trying to learn this. I mean, of course, it's not really that hard, but it's just I'm used
Well,
to.
everything's a learning. I'm still learning. I got ways to go on my artwork, that's for sure.
But
Still learning everything.
for what you got though, from the pictures that I'm going to be putting up and all that.
Yeah,
and,
I have more too.
and you can send
So
all those with the links and everything. Like, well, actually, you can
yeah,
text
well,
that to me.
my website has a bunch. My Facebook page has a bunch. I try to keep that up to date. Keep it fairly active.
Is it
I
your
just
personal?
did a really well. I have a personal no, and I have an art one.
Okay.
It's Angela Rose art.
I was gonna say send me all this information so I can link it up
Yeah.
in with this where I can start putting everything
Yeah, for sure.
together.
I've actually done 4 commissions so far. So,
wow.
and I actually just finished one that's really nice. I'm going to give it to her on Saturday. I painted a cross for Easter Sunday because I like to paint outside. I try to paint on Sundays. I have a nice picnic table, and I have a decent sized backyard. So when the weather's nice, I like to go out there because it gives me more room.
Right.
And I love to be outside. I've always been a nature girl. So for Easter, it was it was a very nice day. So I went out there and I painted, decided to paint a cross and stuff. It just kind of like came together, and I posted it. And one of my friends is like, "Hey, I want this, but I want it in these colors. I want like red, brown, and gold." She's had this empty space on her dining room wall forever, and she wanted to match this other painting that's in her living room. And so I was like, okay. And yeah, it actually turned out really good. She hasn't seen it yet. I think it turned out really good, but she wouldn't let me send her a picture. She's like, no, I want to be surprised. So I'm going to give it to her on Saturday.
There you go.
So she's going to like it. And then I sold, my first painting I sold was at the Alabama Furniture celebration, new location celebration. I sold it to a friend of mine who wanted to buy it. He wanted to buy it at my first show, but didn't get a chance to. But he ended up buying it. So I'm really thankful in that. So it was nice, and I knew once I sold my first one, then I'd be good to go. And then right after that, it was like
There goes the
I
next
sold
one.
another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because one, um, I had talked to this guy a couple times. We were out having drinks at the Blue Lagoon, and he's like, "Hey, I was trying to buy something off your website. I was trying to buy a painting, wouldn't let me do it." I'm like, I do have it set up. Well, at the time I had it kind of set up where you could buy prints and stuff. I'm like, oh, really? Well, which one? And he's like, I want this painting. And I was like, which one? And it was one of the ones I did it when I did the art in the making. It was my first one that I really did really big. I just did this really big. I called it Rainbow Dreams. It's kind of like a rainbow, different colored type painting. I'll have to show you a picture. I think I sent you a picture. If not, I will.
Okay.
And he's like, that I want that one. It matches like my, the colors match like my couch and stuff. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, well, how much you want for it? And I thought about it, and I gave him a price, and he like, here you go. He pulled out cash for it, and I was like, Dan, go get it. So I sold it right there. So I was real excited about it. So he took pictures, and I was very, very excited about it. So that was pretty cool, and that definitely, boosted confidence on that.
And it does. It really does, because it's like when you're doing something and you're testing the waters out and you're not too for sure, but once you start getting some feedback, it's like, wow. And then you just get that overwhelming feeling of excitement.
And plus, it's nice that I like it when people actually see the paintings itself, because I try to post pictures and stuff, but I don't. My camera's not that good, and the lighting in my house, in my studio, isn't very good. So they don't really come out as well. So when you see, I mean, most of my artwork, and I mean, it really is, if you see, it looks way better in person. It really does. Because I tend to use a lot of like gloss and kind of like glittery, shiny stuff. So you don't really get that in the picture. You don't really get the full
effect of it.
No. I mean, you have to see it in person. So I really need to get, definitely need to get more into a better setup and stuff. I'm working on that. Like I said, it's a whole new world. I mean,
in time, literally.
I did one painting, and next thing I know, here I am, thrown into it. So, like I said, I had to do a website, get business cards, made magnets, and some of my best ones, my best sellers are stuff that are very small paintings that I just kind of kind of did for fun, and those are the ones that everybody likes. So those are some of my best prints that I do, that I sell. But like I probably could, even if I was going to sell the original artwork, I really can't, because there is so little. I mean, I wouldn't be able to really. Or like one, I actually have it. It's actually on like mixed medium paper, so it's not even on a canvas. So I couldn't even really sell it if I wanted to, because it doesn't look like, it's not going to look the same.
Right. But there's a place. Actually, there's a convention here in Pasadena. I don't know if you ever gone to any of that. They've have a few festivals. I'm just starting to kind of, get to. Like, you got the Strawberry Festival, which that's something a little different.
Oh, yeah. I used to go to that when I was a kid, because my mom's, that's where she grew up, was Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of family out there.
See,
Deer Park.
I'm wedged between LaPorte and Pasadena. I'm like smack dab in Deer Park Central, so.
Yeah. Yeah, my cousin actually lives in Deer Park.
Huh.
My aunt lives in Pasadena. Yeah, that's from all my mom's side. Galena Park, Pasadena, Galveston. That's all her side of the family.
Yeah. When I came out here 19 years ago, I said to myself, of course, if I wouldn't have, that's another topic in genre time, or different podcast time, but it's been a blessing since I've been out here, put it that way. So
yeah, you had to get out of Spring Branch, huh?
Yeah, I had to. Really, I did, because if not, no telling, where I would have wound up. So
that's understandable. No, it's nice out there. Like where my cousin lives, it's a very nice. She lives in a nice subdivision, and there's like fairgrounds right behind her house, and we would watch fireworks and stuff.
But
then you live here for a while, you're like, okay, now I remember why I left, and then you go back.
You're friggin' morons.
Well, everybody misses the Mexican food. You can't get good Tex-Mex anywhere else, and barbecue.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I know when I was just heading out 19 years ago, it was nowhere near that. And then you go down, Campbell Road, and there's like, freaking taco trucks and everything. It's like, wow, Sacco's is like turning into a fiesta.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Still like that.
Say so, but yeah. I mean,
But if you want some good Mexican food, this place to go to.
yeah, oh yeah.
They
And,
got them all, a bunch of it, and it's cheap. It's good, cheap Mexican food too. Not like the Papacitas where, I mean, that stuff's good, but God, I don't want to pay $20 for a taco. I can get 5 for like $3.
yeah, I know, right? And it's
I
all
can get like two that. Yeah, you get one of these. You go to like the taqueria at Cancun and stuff. It's like you get one taco, you can make 3 tacos out of this thing.
Yeah,
For
see,
$2.
see, it is.
Can't find that anywhere else.
Yeah, that's one thing about those stock. But that's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is they're so good and delicious. But the bad thing, of course, over the period of years, I kind of blew out my stomach from all the crazy stuff I've done. So I got to kind of watch what I eat a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I love, man. I mean, there's some certain foods that it's just I know if I eat it, I'm gonna have consequences later. So, but it's one of those. I'm gonna have to do it. You know what I mean? So, but.
What else to cover? When I do my paintings too, I try to listen to different music. I like to kind of pick a theme. Like if I'm like doing a beach scene or something like that, I'll do something kind of like a relaxed beach or jazz. And,
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you about that. What inspires your talent? I mean,
it just kind of varies. I've had so many for so years or so many. I mean, I think of paintings like constantly. I sitting at the table or watching TV and I'm like, oh, I got a cool idea for a painting. And Dan's
wow.
like, yeah, you always say that.
See, that's
another one.
I
keep a list. I write them down and, different things. And sometimes I just don't even have a rhyme or reason. I just paint. I come out with a couple of cool ideals, techniques and stuff. I've run across some techniques and stuff. I like doing the music though. That helps to kind of like one whenever I have I started having kind of what do you call it, like collections where I have one, it's called chilled, so it's everything chilled, like crazy chill or into the chill or chilled waters, and that's usually I listen to this. It's called Chill Out. It's a kind of electronic jazz kind of lounge
on Pandora.
Yeah.
I've got it.
There's a couple really good ones I like that it's got a little jazzy, but it's a little different. So it's a real good relaxing kind of flow. It's good. It's very creative. It helps my creative flow, and so I listen to that usually when I do stuff. Certain depending on what kind of art whatever I'm kind of doing at the time, and I've done some jazz. I did a commission for a friend that wanted something kind of Harley-ish, so I was listening to ZZ Top and kind of more like your kind of Texas rock.
Right.
And I just did the commission one I just did. It's for my friend. She likes old country, and this was right after Merle Haggard had died. So I did the Pandora station for Merle Haggard, so that was fun. I just kind of I try to kind of pick what maybe someone would like if I'm doing like a mission, or just kind of depending on what I'm doing at the time too.
And that's the way, say with my creativeness, is usually when I'm about half asleep. I mean, I some reason I don't know. I can be bored.
Oh yeah, you remember all the stuff that you want to do.
And it's funny, and it never fails. It's like, okay, I'd be at work, I'd be bored, nothing going on, not a single thought comes to the head. But as soon as I start getting relaxed, watching TV, and my wife, I drive her crazy because we'll be about half asleep and, oh yeah, this. She's like, my God, does your brain ever shut down?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, it does. There's times I have brain farts and hiccups.
Oh, I know.
Along the way, but
I know I'm the same way. I'm always thinking. I'm always creating. I've always been. I got really big into crafts there for a while. I actually did all the decorations for my own wedding, and I did some of my friends' weddings and like big birthday parties and stuff like that. Like I did my mom's when she turned 70, and I did like all the decorations. So that kind of stuff's fun too. Um, yeah, I'm always thinking about stuff like that.
I mean, I went as far as crazy, yeah, 40-year-old man playing video games, but there's a market out there for it. So
That's really big.
oh, there's several different YouTubers that I watch that kind of inspired me to kind of get where I'm at now, because I thought, that's cool, just having fun, type of deal, but they're getting paid for it. I'm not, right? At least not right now, but there's a time and place for everything. So but that's another thing I also got as far as on my YouTube. I've got my gaming channel I'm still working on, and I thought, oh man, I could slap this all together. Not really. It's a lot of investment and time, and who I want this and this type of that, and how we're going to narrate this. And it's almost like writing a script out, but playing a video game. But then some people say just let it come natural while you're doing something. And that's kind of the best way I've been doing, just kind of let it flow. Because I mean, I've got notes and stuff I've been kind of writing here and there, but whenever it just comes naturally, it doesn't sound like I'm reading off a paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found out that both of my co-hosts are sick as dogs. So
Oh no.
and then it's like
There's a lot of stuff going around.
yeah. So and they just emailed me and said, hey, we're not gonna be able to do it. That's like, no, don't worry about it. I've got this Thursday covered. So
Yeah.
I'm
Are you trying to do like an interview like once a week?
Either interviews once a week, or just different random topics with my two co-hosts that I have, and just random different things. We've got like I said, we've got the fishing segment coming up, which we're still working on.
Fun.
It's actually going to be a production of IHA podcast / studios. It's basically what I was working on getting, is that getting a group of us together around in the bay and get some cameras and GoFundMe page, Kickstarter, or something to kind of help fund it, and go out there and start shooting and basically having sponsors for that show, to where it kind of helps sponsors the IHA platform itself. That's why I said everything will come in its time. It's why I'm not worried too much about charging anybody anything. Even as far as graphics and stuff, I can do, like, if you have something you want to like collage a whole bunch of stuff together, I could do that. I just, because I love artwork. That's what I like. Have you ever seen some of the crazy stuff that I've got on Facebook that I sit here and do digitally? It's I sit here for hours and hours and just listen to music like you said, and just kind of roll.
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
Me. Yeah.
That's kind of cool how you got that same kind of creativity, because man, you get just the power of that music, and you're just I mean, you got to pay.
Then I meet people that are like, I have no creativity. I'm like, how's that possible?
Yeah, I was going to say, because you're using
I'm
the
always
paintbrush.
doing something.
You got a paintbrush and I got a mouse.
Yeah.
But
I did some digital. I did one that I kind of did like a weird abstract, and then I kind of added some stuff. I have Adobe. I have actually I have the Adobe Elements from a couple of years ago, and I'm still learning it though.
Because
my computer gets kind of slow, so it like takes up all the takes up a lot of space. I don't know if it's that in Facebook or I'm missing something, but it tends to. But I've done a little bit, but I prefer the paintbrush.
That's what I say. That's like I said.
I can do different arts and stuff, but I love to paint though. Just something about painting. It's just really. And I love to do the straight canvas, the stretch canvas and stuff. Some people like to do the journals, the art journals, or they do the mixed media paper or the flat canvases. But I like the stretched because I like it when I'm done. If somebody wants to hang it, it's ready. I mean, you can do your own. You can stretch your own canvas. I know, like a lot when you get more professional, that's kind of what they do. They'll do that, but me, I'm just like, I'll just buy it already done.
I mean,
I don't know if I figure out how to do that yet. So.
Hey, that's one of those little learning experiences too. So it's this is going to be a really really fun year for the art, for this channel,
Yeah, like I said,
everything.
it's amazing what Houston is doing, and I actually met and became kind of friends with the guy who does the first Saturday art market in the Heights. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's what is the first Saturday every month. There's a place on 19th Street between two little jeans antiques, and there's like a yoga place, and they close off this little like courtyard, and everybody has their little art booths, and there's some really really good artists there, and I mean it's a little everything they have, your visual arts, your paintings, and they have jewelry. They have one guy makes these really gorgeous wind chimes and prisms and stuff with the different prisms.
Right.
um, they have, I think, someone that sells like all your organic, your like homemade honey and stuff like that. And they're actually he's starting a new thing out by there's a place that's called the Silos on Sawyer. It's right there at Taylor and I-10, and that's where a lot of these other art galleries are. There's a whole bunch. There's like Spring Street, Winter, Silver, the Silos on Sawyer. I'm missing one. There's one more. There's Silvers, Spring, Winter, Summer. No fall.
No.
There's fall one, but I don't know why. I guess it's Silver. Close enough. But I really want to do the Silos. One of my friends had went there, and she enjoyed it. It's the old grain silos that are actually art studios. They actually do stuff inside the silos. So
Oh wow.
they're having an art market there. They're starting a big art market there in May 14th. So,
See.
and oh, and also I forgot to tell you that my friend Holly I was talking about, me and her actually created a ladies art group together. That's kind of how we got inspired. So we're like, hey, we should do a little art group, kind of meet and just hang out, and everybody does art. So me and her, and it's in March. It was a year, and it's grown really good. We've had anywhere from 3 to 15 people, I think. It's ladies only. No guys.
Yeah.
No boys allowed. And it's just kind of the same concept. We have wine or whatever anybody wants to drink. It's sometimes, it's, if somebody wants to
BYOB.
drink. Yeah, pretty much. And everybody brings some food, like their snacks, whatever. And we try to do themes sometimes, like we'll do like a spring or summer, or like one time we painted wine bottles and stuff and decorated those. Sometimes we just color, do the adult coloring books, the real detailed ones they have out. It's real popular now. So that's fun too, because some of those, I mean, they're very intricate, so it takes a while. But just listen to music and talk and chit chat, and it's a lot of fun, and it's going really well too. We just had one this past weekend, and we actually had it in my backyard, because usually my friend hosts because she has more room in her house. My living room's really small, so it's hard for me to, I don't have a lot of room. Yeah, but I do have a decent backyard, so I put the table out there and chairs, and brought the little, Pandora out, and it was a lot of fun. My mom comes to them. She enjoys them because she's very creative, and actually I got her kind of back into painting now, since she's been so inspired with me with seeing all my artwork. So, I mean, and she's the one where I got it from.
See, that's awesome. You're having fun. You're inspired.
Yeah, and I've actually made a little money off of it. I don't really do it for the money, because it's. I mean, I like to get paid for it. It's nice, but I'm actually more. I just want people to have my art. I want people to have, like, because my art's like it's a part of me. So it's like someone having part of my soul and my heart. So I like that somebody can enjoy something that I created that brings them joy.
Right.
That's really that's what inspires me. I like about it. I mean, it's nice to get paid for it, because art supplies are kind of expensive. So.
Yeah.
They
uh,
add up.
exactly.
But
That's awesome. I mean, the passion of it. That's one thing that I can also say. You're getting into
yeah,
this,
you
and
really have to, because it's very difficult to make money art. Even the some of the really really good, and I've known some really talented ones that do. I mean, they are full-time artists, and it's still kind of a struggle because art's very personal, and you have to, when somebody wants to buy your painting or wants your painting or your artwork, it has to kind of touch them too as much as it touches you. So not everybody likes everything, the same stuff. So you have to
right,
kind of, depends on your crowd and your audience, I guess. It's just you know, like music or anything else.
it's like my
But it's nice to
father-in-law.
have.
Well, yeah, I say father-in-law. He has he picked it up from somewhere, but it's a big table with it's artwork, and it's the most neatest thing. It's all beer tops, caps.
Oh yeah. One of my friends made that. I've thought about that. And I love to do the recycle art. I've done a little bit of that. That was one of my passions for many years. I've been wanting to do that, and I've kind of done a little bit. I like to do the mixed median. I don't do it very often, where you add kind of embellishments and stuff to it, and I've seen some really neat stuff. But yeah, that's neat to do stuff like that. So I like that and the wine corks and stuff like
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, art is just endless. I mean, literally,
Yeah, there's
you could take
so
a
many things because I want to do like a guitar with guitar picks. I love to do like a wine bottle or like a wine scene with the wine corks and that kind of stuff, or or like a bar, like a cocktail hour type thing. That's
or
that's
get
another
you
one that's in there.
get a neighborhood kid with a paintball and get a canvas and put a hard back on it and just sit there. Pow, 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 pow.
Yeah, actually, I do want to do the 80s splatter paint. I need to find me some glow in the dark paint. I found a couple, but it's not quite right. But yeah, of course, Deanne says, if you're going to do that, you got to do the black velvet if you're going to do it right.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. The old school black light posters. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about, seriously, get the black velvet, get the fluorescent glow in the dark paint, and just do like a very colorful splatter paint. Probably listen to some Prince or some kind of 80s music and just go to town.
Yeah. Hey, you heard that Prince passed away.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I've
Oh,
been
okay.
watching.
Okay. When you
I know,
said that,
I was
it just
devastated. I can't believe that. He was only 57. He was young.
and I don't know
Oh
if
my
you.
God, I had so many. I mean, that's a major part of my youth, from everywhere from Little Red Corvette to Purple Rain. I mean, I stood in line to watch Purple Rain. I mean, that was that was it. And back then, that was the bomb. That was
Yeah, it was like the
dude. That
Metallica
was
back in the day. I mean,
Yeah. No,
but,
he's definitely unique. I
yeah,
don't know a lot of his new stuff, but he was still producing albums, which I didn't realize. I haven't listened to anything from him since like probably the early 90s and stuff,
right.
but
And then I don't know if you watched wrestling, but there was a female wrestler that
yeah,
passed
I
away
heard
too.
that. There's a
Uh,
lot. There's a lot today. I mean, this week.
and
Um, yeah, the Doris Roberts, the lady who
yeah,
does Everyone Knows Raymond the
the,
Mom. I love her. I always loved her. Yeah, quite a few. I know, it's crazy.
it's like wow, it's just
I know, and this year David Bowie, I was devastated by that one because that's another like Prince.
icon.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's my high school years right there. That's
yeah,
my junior high school. That's my youth. Because that was the people that were always around. Um, yeah, it's wild.
see,
But I mean, we don't live forever. We're not promised on this earth forever.
there you
Everybody's
go.
gonna go, no matter how much money or how famous you are. Same thing can happen to you
Yeah,
as everybody else. That's
yeah,
why you gotta.
you gotta live life like it's
That's
your
why.
last.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy it, and that's why I've really, it's like I never really had the confidence to be an artist. I just always said I'm an art lover, not an artist, and I never knew all this time that I actually were. I did have it.
And you're also a very good speaker too. So
Thank you.
I mean, of course, I said once I get rolling on it, I have no problem with it. It's just that initial ready to roll. And plus, it's our very first.
I hang out with a lot of redheads, and redheads are talkers, so I'm kind of used to that. I used to be shy and quiet. That's been gone for a long time.
Of course,
so
this is our.
I talk to people now. It depends on who I'm talking to, where I'm at, but you have to though, especially like with like being you go shows and stuff. You have to be friendly and kind of let tell your stories about your artwork and stuff. That's how you got to interact.
Yeah, and I think it's
interesting, and like that's what I did at Pancake and Booze. I was having a lot of fun there. I mean, that's definitely a place where you really want to get to people and kind of tell them your stories. But you have to kind of let people kind of look at your art too. So you have to kind of know to kind of leave people alone and let them kind of check it out, and then kind of let them know to be there. So I've always been, I learned to pass out cards, have lots of business cards and stuff, and then, just kind of, say hi, introduce yourself, here's my card, that way, they may not want to buy it at that moment, especially something where, there's a lot of other different artwork, so everyone wants to kind of check everything out first before they make a purchase.
Right.
But this way, if something, happened that they said, oh, I really did like her stuff, let me check it out, so.
Right. Exactly. And see, you
I was
said
about the video part. I'm like, man, my studio is not clean. It's a mess. So.
Oh no! See, whenever I start getting into that's another thing too. Once I get my equipment and I start getting a little bit more of a solid foundation of everything that's going on right now, it's just literally like a parade, just scattered in the air. You got this over here, working on this over here. I got two guys that are down, which that's fine. I'm more the creator. I just say, hey, what you guys think about this? So hey, I like it. So, but on these art galleries and stuff, do they allow like photos? Do they allow like interviews? Like if I would actually take a camera, a camera and okay.
Yeah, most of them do. You probably depending on what it is. No, most of them encourage pictures and videos because they want to promote it. And like I know when I did Art in the Making, I actually got interviewed through someone. Of course, I have no clue who he was, and nobody else does. So I mean, he was a friend of one of the other artists there, so he was interviewing people. But he did a full interview. I mean, took pictures of all my paintings. So I'm like, I gotta find this guy. I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, he had a little mic on me and everything, so it was pretty neat. It was pretty interesting. I was not expecting it. But I talked to the gallery owner, and she's like, "Oh, he's a friend of one of the other artists." So I still haven't quite hunted him down yet because he was supposed to send the video. I guess I know I gave him one of my cards, but I never got one of his cards. So. So there's a video of me somewhere floating around.
Right. I'd be looking at you
There's
Google.
a crazy artist, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, cause see, that's another thing too. Once I start getting into, like I say, I've got my own little thing going on, and I start hitting the community as far as like the art gallery, even the music. Now I have to change my music genre, I guess you can say, because there's a lot of people I know that are still into the throw your head through a wall and see if you can drink beer at your back end.
Well, I know some bands too. I know all that too. I have some good friends that are in. And one's really good. All of them are pretty good, but there's one of them that's like really good. I mean, his stuff is. I mean, you listen to him, you're like, wow, this guy's actually good.
Does he play? Does he play out of like the Blue Lagoon, or is he in Spring Branch area?
Okay. Mostly Spring Branch, kind of a little everywhere. It's kind of like a part-time thing, but he's been doing it for many years. It's the name of the band's called Rio Yeti. They play like your classic rock, kind of 70s. A lot of like, but it's very upbeat. It can get a little loud, but good loud. It's not like thrash loud, but it's like rock. He's really good. They're all very talented. And then I have another good friend of mine. Name of his band is called the High Meadow Drifters, and they play like outlaw country.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So
Free
it's
plugins.
yeah, and I know some other people that are, and a lot of course musicians, they tend to play in other bands or they'll jam with other people. So
See, you said there earlier, an hour long. We're already almost an hour and 30 minutes.
oh wow.
I just looked up at the clock.
Well, you did go to the bathroom for like 15 minutes or whatever. No, just kidding.
Well, that's gonna be edited out too.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, you sit there. I should have put music on.
I
Which,
say,
so this is gonna be a
that's
fun
okay. I was
one.
listening to Prince. I had my Prince going because I've been
Yeah.
listening to him as a tribute type thing. But well, I would check my notes, but my cat's sitting on them to see if there's anything else I wanted to say. I got my little fur inspiration here.
Yeah, I know. I don't know
My
if you see the
baby.
pictures of mine, little freaking, it's just calico, I guess you can say. But she's a little character. She does some serious weird things. I mean, most cats I've never seen. Like the other day, she was laying on her back, trying to like I guess lick herself, and she kind of looks at me like I'm sexy, and she's a big cat. So, and then she'll sit there and watch TV, slouched. I've got some pictures on Facebook. I might have some on Instagram, but slouched watching TV with me. It's like,
Oh yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Okay, then I'll have to.
Actually, I do. I just kind of got on there like a few months ago because that's what everybody's like. Hey, it's good. That's a good way to get through. Good exposure and so yeah, I get a lot of hits on stuff, and then I like it too because you can do both. I'll do it on Instagram, but I can actually put it on Facebook too. So at the same time, so I'm getting the both.
And if you get it to
You can
Twitter,
share it on both.
I
have a Twitter account too. I just kind of set that up. I haven't really played with it much. I've done a couple, but
I'm still
that's a lot.
honestly.
Facebook takes up most of my time as it is, and that's always been my kind of deal.
That's the thing. It is that I've got the new freaking IHA podcast Facebook. I'm just now trying to figure out how to work that thing. See, it's two different things, so I need to make sure what I'm uploading, the people that I sent the invite to, they're getting the stuff. So, and then I'm also learning how to do this YouTube and how to upload and do things. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm learning all kinds of things now. The Podbean, it's a simple deal. It's just drop and go. It's already pretty much done. But then you got now the Twitter. I don't know nothing about it. Seriously, I got my kids and my wife and all them like, oh, you need to get Twitter. I've got Twitter. How do you use it? How do you tell somebody? Hashtag whatever. I don't know. So
it's kind of like you do. I guess kind of like what you do for like you do on Instagram with the hashtags, but you just do it. It's just you can only do so many letters. It's like it's like a quick status update, put it that way.
Oh, okay.
And Instagram is like mostly pictures. You can't really do statuses. You just do pictures. So it's kind of like the combination. Facebook's kind of everything.
Right.
And of course, Facebook is one of those. As soon as somebody else comes up with something new, they'll just steal it and add it to their deal.
Yeah, that's why you watermark. Well, I do. I'm starting to learn how to watermark my images, so there's nobody come along and say, it's so easy to do. I mean, well, painting is one thing, you just write it, but as far as I could never figure out how to do it, but I use this program called GIMP.
Yeah, a lot of them have it.
And I tell you, I couldn't figure out how to do layers on this thing. I had my daughter; she's an artist herself. I mean,
that's the one that I was trying to find the
anime.
The layers and stuff. I quite haven't figured out how to do that on the Adobe.
You know what?
But I did learn some stuff though, because like my mom was like when I did my first show, she's like, well, what about copyright? If someone buys it, what about? And then I kind of looked it up and I said, well, the good thing about visual arts is basically whoever created it, it's automatically copyright. So like my paintings are mine. I mean, even if I sold them and they tried to make money, it's my work. It's mine because I painted it. It has my name on it. I created it, so it'll always be my copyright. Whether, I mean, it's sometimes it's better. If you want to be like careful, you can copy, register it and stuff. But that, so that way, if there is ever like a conflict or someone try to take it, you have a legal standpoint. But basically, yeah, it has my name on it. It has my initials, my name. I painted it. It's mine,
Yeah,
so.
there you go. And that's one thing
It's like,
in the digital
yeah,
age. I figured out how to do layers, how to put your logo that I've also got to get some legal stuff on as well.
yeah.
But
So to do my logo though. I have an idea. I just haven't done it yet.
I mean, that's what my wife says. You keep changing your stuff up. Well, it just like I said, it gets creative. I'll sit right here and I'll put on music and I'll sit there and just be beating and banging, and then I'll just sit here and click away, and just next thing I know, I got this masterpiece in front of me. I'm like, wow, uh,
Yeah.
and of course, everybody's like, because a lot of, like I said, everything that I've done, I mean, I've got like the one with the two. It's actually the moon and the Earth, but it looks like two moons to me. But it tried to be the Earth. But then it's got the IHA logo, and then anything goes. Cause that's basically what it is. It's an anything goes channel. It's not one topic specific deal. So show. It's random too. That's another thing. But like I said, next week we'll be talking about how nasty the air is. I mean,
Yeah. Well, that stuff's pretty good. Like I said, I have a couple people that would definitely probably want to do that, and actually a good friend of mine too. She does a lot of the Spring Branch stuff. She does a lot of. They're working on doing a lot of Spring Branch history, so that might be something. She actually did because they're remodeling Spring Branch High School, so they tore down a lot of it, and right before they did like an all reunion, and they had they kind of explained what was going on, and she actually had this other lady that was a journalist or journalist student, and actually interviewed her interviewing other people, like people who maybe like the first graduating class or last graduating class, and coaches and different people. So there's a lot of that too, so she might be someone that would be interested too. I need to, like I
yeah.
said, I have quite a lot of people that could definitely
Oh yeah,
get you
like I
some
said,
hosts.
a art gallery or something coming up, or like certain events. I'm gonna get the equipment and pull one of, because one of my buddies is in Georgia. That's where he lives. So the other one's like right down the road from me. So it's kind of like, it's pretty good, to have as many people, So yeah,
Yeah, because the more people, the more friends they have, and that's how you get exposure.
exactly. And that's one thing why my wife's like, why are you so worried about getting your T-shirt logo and everything? Because what's going to happen is I got to promote myself. I got to find some way to get it out there. And
Yeah, exactly.
so if I go to a show, I'm gonna have all my gear on, and I'm like I said, I'm a people person myself. I mean, once I get going, I am a chatterbox, literally. So
Yeah.
if like I say, if you listen to the last podcast where I was doing 95% of the talking, so but yeah. Just
Yeah, you got to learn to let the people you're interviewing talk. You know that, right?
yeah, and yeah, but of course my it was an introductory of what was going on, and it was fresh, since the very first one
Yeah.
was kind of a fun thing. I had all my kids playing games, and we lost the video section, and we almost lost the whole audio, and it was fun. It really was. And then the second time, we lost connection on Skype, and so it's almost comical. I mean, that's one of those things too. I like to keep everything comical, and but not necessarily like losing feed, but still, I mean, I couldn't help.
Yeah.
I laughed about it. Every time I hear it, I still laugh. It's because it's like we're sitting there talking at whoop. You still there, man?
Yeah.
Up and
Actually, I found a site too that I can make jewelry out of and clothing out of my artwork. It's pretty cool.
see, so
Yeah, I
all
actually
the,
can make
all-
earrings out of my actual like paintings, pictures of my paintings. So
See, so all these websites and everything we've kind of discussed on here, they can.
yeah. Do you want me
what
to? email it to you, or you want me to just message you on Facebook, or?
Yeah, message me on Facebook. I mean, because actually you could email it. It's
Because then I can send you the actual links and stuff.
yeah. I was gonna say yeah. It's you got a pen and paper?
Uh-huh.
It's IHA podcast, all lowercase at G.
IAH.
It's yeah IHA podcast at gmail.com. And actually, I could send this. How can I? No, I could send on here. Anywho, let's see. I guess we can go ahead and close this out. So, and
Okay, well, everybody come out and see my art. Chocolate and Art Show, that's my next one, at Spring Street Studios. It's at Taylor and I-10. It's off of Spring Street. It's May 26th and 27th. It's the Thursday and Friday before Memorial Day. So it'll be fun. They'll have a chocolate fountain and art. So they'll have chocolate and art. I think this one is an actual, you have to pay to get in, but I think it's like $5 if you do the pre-advance tickets, and I think it's $10 at the door. But you get free chocolate, so.
there you go.
Yeah. And you get to look at all the nice art. Yes, it's the 26th and the 27th, yes.
Okay.
And at Spring Street Studios.
And all links and all links and descriptions if we've talked about on this podcast will be in either I'll have it linked up into the audio or into our once I get everything up and running, because it's basically going to have a audio feed with pictures in it. So as far as whenever I get it on the Podbean, I get it on the Facebook, and I get it on my YouTube, I'll have links and descriptions of everything that we pretty much had in topic tonight.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm sending you the links to my website and Facebook and everything else.
Alrighty. Well, this is Alien Head signing off of IHA Podcast. I really enjoy talking with you, Angela, and hopefully this will, this will kick off some type of spark somewhere, and maybe we can, start really getting some stuff rolling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all the listeners out there, subscribe and like to my YouTube, subscribe and like to my Podbean, and for the personal people for Facebook, just like it or comment. Let me know something. Any of y'all out there that y'all are actually hearing the content that's being provided out here, because I will have tutorials as well on other topics and things. I just need to, get y'all's feedback on what y'all want to hear in upcoming, shows, or if y'all have any ideas, feel free to drop me an email at ihapodcast@gmail.com. And
check out my website, AngelaRoseWallingArt.com. It has an event, go to my event page, and it has all my shows that are coming up. And I've tried really good to make sure it's up to date.
Hey, it goes when you got a busy life and schedules. So.
Yeah.
But, alrighty, we are signing off.
Hey, peace out.
Later.
Us and coaches and different people. So there's a lot of that too. So she might be someone that would be interested too. I need to, like I said, I have quite a lot of people that could definitely
like I
some
said,
hosts.
A art gallery or something coming up, or like certain events, I'm gonna get the equipment and pull because one of my buddies is in Georgia. That's where he lives. So the other one's like right down the road from me. So it's kind of like it's pretty good, to have as many people, So. Yeah,
because the more people, the more friends they have, and that's how you get exposure.
Exactly, and that's one thing why my wife's like, why are you so worried about getting your T-shirt logo and everything? Because what's going to happen is I got to promote myself. I got to find some way to get it out there. And
exactly.
So if I go to a show, I'm going to have all my gear on, and I'm like I said, I'm a people person myself. I mean, once I get going, I am a chatterbox, literally. So if like I say, if you listen to the last podcast where I was doing 95% of the talking, so but Yeah.
Yeah, you
Just
got to learn to let the people you're interviewing talk. You know that, right?
yeah, and yeah, but of course my it was an introductory uh, of what was going on, and it was fresh since the very first one
Yeah.
was kind of a fun thing. Had all my kids playing games, and we lost you know the video section, and we almost lost the whole audio. And it was fun. It really was. And then the second time, we lost connection on Skype, and so it's almost comical. I mean, that's one other thing too. I like to keep everything comical and but not necessarily like losing feed, but still, I mean. I couldn't help.
Yeah.
I laughed about it. Every time I hear it, I still laugh. It's because it's like we're sitting there talking at whoop. You still there, man?
Yeah. I found a site too that I can make jewelry out of and clothing out of my artwork. It's pretty cool.
See, so
yeah, I can make earrings out of my my actual like paintings, pictures of my paintings. So
see, so all these websites and everything we've kind of discussed on here, they can.
Yeah. Do you want me to email it to you, or you want me to just message you on Facebook, or?
Yeah, message me on Facebook. I mean, because actually you could email it. It's
because then I can send you the actual links and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's you got a pen and paper?
Uh-huh.
It's IHA podcast, all lowercase. At
IAH.
That's IHA podcast at gmail.com. And actually, I could send this. How can I know I could send on here? Anywho, let's see. I guess we can go ahead and close this out. So,
okay. Well, everybody, come out and see my art. Chocolate Art Show. That's my next one at Spring Street Studios. It's at Taylor and I-10. It's off of Spring Street. It's May 26th and 27th. It's the Thursday and Friday before Memorial Day. So it'll be fun. They'll have a chocolate fountain and art. So they'll have chocolate and art. I think this one is an actual, you have to pay to get in, but I think it's like $5 if you do the pre-advance tickets, and I think it's $10 at the door. But you get free chocolate, so.
There you go.
Yeah. And you get to look at all the nice art. Yes, it's the 26th and the 27th, yes. Okay. And at Spring Street Studios.
And all links all links and descriptions if we've talked about on this podcast will be in either I'll have it linked up into the audio or into our once I get everything up and running, because it's basically going to have a audio feed with pictures in it. So as far as whenever I get it on the Podbean, I get it on the Facebook, and I get it on my YouTube, I'll have links and descriptions of everything that we pretty much had in topic tonight.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm sending you the links to my website and Facebook and everything else.
Alrighty. Well, this is Alien Head signing off of IHA Podcast. I really enjoy talking with you, Angela, and hopefully this will, this will kick off some type of spark somewhere, and maybe we can, start really getting some stuff rolling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all the listeners out there, subscribe and like to my YouTube, subscribe and like to my Podbean, and for the personal people for Facebook, just like it or comment. Let me know something. Any of y'all out there that y'all are actually hearing the content that's being provided out here, because I will have tutorials as well on other topics and things. I just need to, get y'all's feedback on what y'all want to hear in upcoming, shows, or if y'all have any ideas, feel free to drop me an email at ihapodcast@gmail.com. And
check out my website, AngelaRoseWallingArt.com.
There you
go. It has an event, go to my event page, and it has all my shows that are coming up. And I've tried really good to make sure it's up to date.
Hey, how it goes when you got a busy life and schedules. So.
Yeah.
But, alrighty, we are signing off.
Hey, peace out.
Latest. Ideas, feel free to drop me an email at ihapodcast@gmail.com. And
check out my website, AngelaRoseWallingArt.com.
there you
It has
go.
an event, go to my event page, and it has all my shows that are coming up. And I've tried really good to make sure it's up to date.
Hey, you know how it goes when you got a busy life and schedules. So,
Yeah.
But, alrighty, we are signing off.
Hey, peace out.
Latest.
Peace out.